Hey, whoop. We hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Yeah. Here we go. Let's hold on. Let's fix you. Fix you. Fix you. Hold on. Sorry, my bad. There we go. Yep. Nope, didn't work. What the heck happened? Where'd it go? Oh, come on, you. Maybe this one. There he goes. All right. So, welcome. We're episode 94 here. Uh, hold on a second. I was trying to be all cutesy here for a second, but the virtual background blurring thing is not working out. Let's just go back to normal, which doesn't really make much of a difference in this picture. So, yeah, tonight's show comes from my pickup truck. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's the setup, Sean, showing the picture I took. So if this show doesn't make you give a like to this thing, we're just gonna quit.
Get some likes, guys.
Oh, it's been. I always talk about it being a shit show, but this could be the shit showiest of shit shows right now. It's
Tell your
crazy.
friends.
I'll
Yeah,
do it.
right.
Interesting.
Tell your friends to bring them in.
There we go. I'll tell you guys what all's going on here in a little bit.
If this goes downhill, we always can get dwarf tossing.
Yeah. You can go back to dwarf tossing. No, well, let's talk about everybody, and then I'll get into my stories about last week and this week. Mr. Hammerquist is back with us again.
Yes.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had
what have you been working on this past 2 weeks?
Well, we had my wife's birthday weekend last weekend, so we did the zoo, the Renaissance Fair, and then what's a birthday without some pints of ice cream?
There you go.
So, pint ice cream holder, and you can put your spoon there, so you can
keep from cringing your hands.
Yeah, it's a very nice print. Did the what do you call it? Oh, crud! I already forgot the. So it's not smooth on the sides. It's got that texture. Fuzzy skin. Thank you. So really nice and comfortable to hold, and great for watching a movie and eating some ice cream.
Sweet. That's pretty awesome.
Then also something I've been working on was this, and it's a book. And I want to make sure I don't open up to some of the stuff I wrote. Very personal. But made this for my wife. Got some fun paper, and so we can put our write memories, and put pictures in it and all that stuff. But it's been 3D printed, and then it's just bound with some leather and just some regular 8.5 by 11 paper.
Oh, cool!
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you
hear about a romantic novel? You know what?
Yeah. I was going to ask him if you ever get out of your room.
Yeah, right.
This has actually been printed for over 2 months, 3 months now. Like I was like, I am not getting caught off guard. Like with so many holidays and even Star Trek cruise, I'm like, oh, I got time. And then all of a sudden it's like panic mode. And it's funny that printing this was the easy part. The 4 or 5 pages I wrote for my wife, I started that as soon as I started printing this. And the day of her birthday, I was still like, no, change this, change that, and just panic editing. I mean, I bought a print. Well, you can't see it, but I bought a printer and everything. And so I could print it here because I was like, well, where am I going to get this printed? And then trying to figure out how to do front and back and then folded. And it all came together and worked out. So
nice.
Looks good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, my wife's birthday was today, and I'm doing the show. But
out in the truck.
Out in the truck in front of my in-laws' house. we spent the day plant shopping. So she's into the de-stressed discount plants. So we went to 4 different Lowe's and a Home Depot, and getting all their garbage plants that nobody wanted to water or something. So
Oh,
yeah, no, Harry, it's not why I'm in the truck. Mr. Corliss, how about you, sir? What have you been working on this week?
Hey, I didn't work on much, but I did make these little things that I found on Maker's World. These are little things to grease and maintain my 3D printer.
Nice.
This one, this one holds the little grease packets. You just empty it into
cool.
here, and it's got a plunger in the end, and you put the plunger in, and it comes out here, and you run it up and down the screw for the x-axis or the
Oh,
z-axis. And this one right here, let me find. Let me bear with me. I don't know what I did. Well, there it is. Okay, this thing right there goes on the end of this, and it's for lubricating the top of the x-axis or the
Right.
x-axis
Cool.
where it goes across. It's
yeah.
for lubricating that.
Oh, cool.
And then this one also goes on this, and this is for lubricating the underneath the y-axis,
Mhm.
that plate underneath there. That's
Thank you.
for lubricating that. And all these were on Maker World, and I figured that if I have them, I'll use them because I want to make sure it stays operable.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my creativity for the week.
Hey, that's good. Maintenance is a good thing, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Sean? What have you been working on this week?
I haven't been able to get out of the shop very much, so I shouldn't be saying anything. Sorry, Paul. No. But today was a fun day. I get a little owie. I replaced the exhaust pipe and a muffler on my RAV4 today, and it sounds so much better.
There you
I'm
go.
surprised I did that. And then I actually got a chance to play with a little Fusion 360. Our train club, our G scale train club, we got a big oil tank, refinery tank, and it was gifted to the club. Really cool little setup. And the only downfall is it only came with a few pieces of pipe like this. This would come off the top of the tank. It'd go down, but that was all the pipe that they gave us. So I've been working on designing like the elbows. But the coolest thing is we have this tubing to work with to come off of this one. So I ended up creating these little adapters. And it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can't see the little bolts on it, but it
Oh, yeah.
looks
There
like
you
a
go.
flange on a piece of pipe when they're both, put together, and it literally works out really snazzy. So now I can take, and we can, grow our refinery at the club. So then it literally looks like 2 pieces of pipe bolted together.
Sweet.
So yeah, some little different. Love Infusion, just because we can do stuff like that, and it'll dress up the layout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just simple tubing and piping, and the challenge was just getting everything to fit all the
Yeah.
time. So yeah,
Wow.
it's been
Very
fun, and I got an email today. My Centauri is actually on the truck. Yes, I was worried about that, but I
It's
was
made
9
the
minutes
trip.
late. Pardon?
It's made the trip across the pond.
It made the trip, and it's on its way. So hopefully, it's probably in the back of a truck on a train heading this direction.
Nice. Maybe you'll have that this week then.
I'm crossing my fingers.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, something new to play with.
Yeah. you get that spot taken up behind you finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's occupied with a pair of 50 caliber machine guns, but other than that,
Very awesome. I
yeah.
can't wait to see what you do with that, because it'll be interesting to really dive into that a $300 printer.
Exactly, and especially when they're saying, "Hey, this is the competitor of a bamboo." I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be nice to see somebody that's not like one of the big giant influencers
Yeah,
that was given theirs earlier or
yeah,
whatever.
right.
Somebody actually bought it and had to wait a little while for it.
Well,
So
yeah, I paid for this one, and I'm doing the wait.
yeah,
So yeah, it'll be fun.
yeah.
Can't
I
wait.
really wish my wife wouldn't have been standing around when that was going on, because I'd have one coming too.
Oh yeah, and I mean, when you really look at it and the comparisons, between that and some other printers, I can't wait to get it here and run it through its paces.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you, sir?
Well, as we know, so let's go back to last week. So we're doing the show. In case somebody didn't watch the show last week, we're doing the show, and all of a sudden, my selfie light turns off, and then the lights are flickering a little bit in the background. Like, what the heck's going on? All of a sudden, I disappear. So, trying to get back on. My power's out, obviously, in my house, and I'm just working off of the glow of the laptop at that moment, trying to get back on, and was somewhat successful. Not very, not enough. So we just closed the show down from there. But it turns out we had a microburst blow through. And if you're not sure what a microburst is, so it's a tornado without the funnel. So we had like 90 to 100-mile-an-hour winds blow through, and and it was kind of wild because I didn't know anything about it. But being in my office down there, I could tell that something was making noise outside, because where I'm at is completely underground. Like, there's no windows, no nothing. I'm completely underground, but I could hear something a little bit, which was kind of odd. So after I done trying to get back on the show and all that, I went upstairs, and it was already over. It had already gone. But man, what a path of destruction that thing laid. So there was outages, like electric outages, from Morgantown, West Virginia,
Oh
which
wow.
is where West Virginia University is, which is over 2 hours away from me. In there, all the way through, like another 45 minutes to an hour east of where I live, and it was straight down the Mason-Dixon line. So if you look at a map and you see the top of Maryland and where it meets up with Pennsylvania, that's the Mason-Dixon line. That, in case you don't know your geography, that's what tells you the north from the south. So Maryland is technically in the south. So anyway, but during the Civil War and all that good stuff, they were uh, middle ground, as depicted by our flag. So anyway, uh, yeah, it tore some stuff up. There's a barn that's not even a half a mile from me, that from an orchard. So, and the orchard's old. So I mean, this barn has got to be well over 100 years old. I ripped the roof clean off of the thing.
Mm.
I don't know if you'll be able to see here on. I might be able to pull it up here real quick. Uh, yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see. We'll show it to the camera here. There's
Oh,
Wow.
oh.
Yeah, that's the orchard
Man.
barn right there, and yeah, so that's a half a mile from my house. Uh, Here's the roof and all that in the front yard of the guy's house. Yeah. Let's see here. What else was there? And then there was also oh yeah, here's a picture of it from the front, so you can kind of see. I mean,
Took half the barn.
we're clean off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, wild. So I mean, turns out it was a nasty storm that blew through. Some friends of ours that live um, closer to town, it ripped a whole porch off the back of their house, along with like half of the roof of their house, and it wasn't like it's a real old house. A lot of destruction all over the place, which was just really bizarre for around here. So we were actually out of our power was out until Monday morning around 2:30 in the morning. So and there were some people that didn't get their power back until Wednesday. So yeah,
Wow.
we got kind of lucky that we were only down for 24 hours or so, but little more than that, but whatever. But yeah, so that was nuts. So then we're recovering from that. Then last night we get another little storm that blows through, and I mean it wasn't even bad, but the internet goes out last night, and um, around 7 o'clock, and I just chalked it up to they'll send somebody out there and fix it or whatever. Well, got up this morning, it still wasn't back on, and so I do a search on my phone, and there's parts of Hagerstown, which is the next big town that's near us or city that's near us, um, that they've had a bunch of outages there. So I call it in to them and say, hey, just letting you know, we're out here and we're out too. It turns out it's just me and my neighbors.
Oh shit.
So we're at the end of the line for any assistance coming out. And after talking to them, they're going to be sending somebody out to fix it May 6th. So yeah, probably not going to have internet until May 6th. So we could be seeing another week of the show from
Show from the
my in-laws' house, which is like a mile away from our house. Hanging out in the driveway. So,
You look like a storm chaser in there.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So that's my setup. So I brought the whole setup from the office in here. So I got my laptop. I've got my computer that I do my streaming on. I've got a little monitor screen. I got my little selfie light, the camera, and my microphone. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I just have the microphone sitting down here, but nobody's complaining, so I'm assuming it sounds okay. But yeah, that was that it's been fun. Definitely been fun and interesting. But yeah, so here we are, sitting in the truck in front of my in-laws' house.
But you made it.
But yeah, but we made the show.
Yeah.
We're at 94, so that's pretty good. We're keeping it going. So thank you, Candace. I appreciate that. It might be better audio and stuff than normal. So. But yeah, so that's what that's what outside of making stuff. That's what's been going on. Yes, Kenneth, I do have the HDMI cables. I brought everything, so I had everything here. So I've got my truck has a plug in it, so I have a three-pronged extension cord or three outlet extension cord plugged into it, and then one laptop is plugged in. My laptop that's in my lap is plugged into that. The computer that I run the show on is plugged into it, and then the monitor is plugged into it. So everything else was 5 volts and can run off of the USB port. So, but yeah,
It works.
yeah, we're here. We're making it work. But besides that, as far as in making stuff and working on stuff, Ranger CNC, we're releasing it next week if whether I'm ready for it to be or not. I'm editing a bunch of videos right now on it. Some of the build videos. and all that good stuff. Uh, I've been dealing with an issue, and I don't. It's not going to be fixed at probably um, before the machine's released, but it's a software issue. I'm having problems with my with the um, with the limit switches,
Hmm.
and I don't know what to do about it. I'm thinking it's electrical noise, because everything's wired right, and triple, quadruple verified that everything's wired properly. But when I turn on the stepper motors with the power supply, it trips the homing sensors for some
Hmm.
reason, even though they're regular switches. Even if the switches aren't plugged in, it's tripping that on in the software. So I'm thinking it's electrical noise, but I haven't verified it yet. And after spending many hours trying to figure it out, I've just decided to put that aside for the moment and you know finish the stuff that needs to get done to get there, um, to get the machine released. So we brought it down to my shop this week, or I brought it down to the shop. That was fun. I loaded it up onto a trailer and drove it around the yard, the 200 feet or something like that, to the shop, and unloaded it in there. And then as soon as I did that, I got Facebook Marketplace strikes again. Uh, I, the a local bookseller, like a warehouse wholesale bookseller,
Mhm.
they closed one of their locations, and so they had these 8 foot tall, 8 foot wide, 2 foot deep shelving units that were made of
Oh,
like
wow.
2x4s and 3/4 inch MDF. Uh, uh, they had them for free, and they had 16 of them, and I was able to get 6 of them, and
Oh,
so the shop is getting organized. I had to move those in while the Ranger was in. I had already moved the Ranger into the shop, so I'm like going around it and all this other stuff. It was a mess. And then I started wiring up the shop this week, so it's been a busy week. I've got electricity on the one wall now, so that's pretty awesome. I'm calling those circuits ketchup and mustard, uh, because I on a great thing to do with quad boxes, that I've decided was, on one side I have one circuit, and on the other side I have another circuit. So you could plug stuff into both sides and be on two different breakers. And,
that
and
works.
yeah, so I put one of those quad boxes up every 10 feet and wired it all up. And one of them I just marked with red, and the other one I marked with yellow tape. So that's why ketchup and mustard. Um, so when I put in, excuse me, when I put in a 240-volt circuit, it'll probably be green and it'll be relish or guacamole. Yeah,
Man, you're gonna walk out of your shop hungry every time when you see your plugs.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty good though. But it's all working well and getting cleaned up. It let's see here. Clyde saying electrical noise with the Arduino. I only use soft limits at home, no hard limits. Yeah, well, I can't even do that, Clyde. It, um, it won't let me home or anything. It's kind of weird. Kenneth is asking, do you think a power surge from the storm hurt your equipment? Yeah, that's what I think took out our internet. Because I was in the shop working on the spoil board for the machine, and my lights got real bright a couple of times.
Ooh.
And then I went up to the house, and that's when I saw that the internet was out. And Grandpa was not happy because he can't watch his news. Yeah. So Clyde saying electrical noise with the Arduino. Yeah, yeah, all right. And then um, let's see, disconnect the switches at the controller end. Should prove the interference issue. Yeah, it. I disconnected all the wiring for the switches, and and it was still throwing the error if I have the hard limits in there, it'll throw it as an error and won't let me get out of it. It's really kind of strange. I have to shut, and what I did is I was troubleshooting it, and I was unplugging all kinds of stuff and plugging stuff back in to see if I could verify what it was. And it's it's when it's the power lines from uh, the power supply to the motors is as soon as they get energized, it throws the problem. So it's kind of strange.
Have you tried, what are they, ferret?
I have not tried a ferret coil or on them yet, though. No, which I might have some. I think I do. So,
And just a little DIY for all y'all out there. That's why you don't throw away your old power cords. You can just rip them off of those.
Yep.
yeah, if they're on there, go ahead and take them off.
See,
I have a bunch from solar stuff, so I might be able to throw them on there and see if.
I was just trying to help those out there who are watching, and they're like, "Why do you keep all these power cords?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why do you have?"
No worry there. No worry there. I never throw anything away.
Dwayne's asking, did that start before the storm? Yes, that's one of the problems I've been chasing. That was a problem I've been chasing down for several days, on the controller side of things. I actually, thankfully, I had the machine turned off when the storm was rolling through yesterday. So, and it's in a surge protector, so hopefully that would also help it too. But yeah, I think that's what took out our internet was the storm. So, yeah, kind of crazy. Fun times, never dull moment. All right, well let's get this thing moving here and get this all figured out, and we'll catch up from our last week's stuff here. So let's go. Whoops, we got to add Paul there. There we go. So where we had left off last week was right before we were going to start talking about James Dean Designs, and this is a good video if you're thinking about rotaries for your CNC machine. It's a good video because he goes over a couple different ones and like how to use it, some things to talk about or think about when you're going to set it up, limitations and all that good stuff. It was very good, well put together video. So
That's a nice looking rotary. I haven't seen that one before.
he says what that one's from, but I can't remember. There's the
Jimitsu.
one.
Yeah.
But he has several of them there. But yeah, that was a pretty nice looking one there.
Yeah. It's tall too.
There's been a couple of new rotaries out on the market too. Onefinity just came out with theirs, and I think maybe that's the Alt Mill one, or the CNC Labs one there. I don't know. It looks kind of similar.
Oh, that's a pretty looking one.
That is the Vortex.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that's it. Sorry, I was just looking at the price. It says from $80 to $520.
That's quite a range, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they have a 30, 48, 30, and 48 with an open loop and a closed loop.
Oh wow, interesting.
So they got a couple different options.
I like the rotaries are pretty cool. I mean, I guess you just have to really have a purpose for them. My biggest problem with them, most CNCs, like he's showing there, they're just so limited on the size of thing that you can do. Like, I mean, if you're doing anything bigger than chess pieces or something small, it's tough to find one that can do something larger, unless you have a dedicated rotary machine. Yeah. I saw Dave from the Clack Shacks out there in the chat. He's been talking about wanting a dedicated rotary. I have a Bob CNC Revolution, which does do a larger, size. I think I can do well, without using the pass through, because it actually has a pass through on it. You can do something that's like 24 inches long or so, and about like 6 inches around, I think is what it is. But I mean, you do have a limitation on a lot of that stuff.
Right.
He had got me thinking a little bit about like talking about rotaries and what you can do. Oh man, what was that guy's name? Dennis Hoff. If you've never seen his videos before, he hasn't put out a video in years. But he was doing some like four-sided machining on his CNC, and that is pretty cool. Like the size of things that he was doing, because he cut a big hole in the middle of his machine, and to be able to kind of do similar to a rotary situation. But I thought it'd be cool to make a dedicated rotary like that, that could do foot round material. Would be pretty awesome.
Years ago, I was thinking about doing a foam one, but it'll come in from the side. But we're cutting foam, big pieces, so that like the gantry and stuff, it doesn't have to be heavy at all.
Sweet.
But yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah. I don't. I would consider making like a version of the Ranger into one, but I just don't think I would use it enough to warrant the work that it would go into making it.
There's a couple of machines where they extend the gantry over the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people were doing it with their Gatton CNCs. Is they would come forward over the front,
Yeah.
and be able to cut stuff. So it's pretty cool. So, but anyway, good job, James. Good video on the rotary stuff. So keep at it. The next one we got from last week is wood season. So I enjoyed this video. I thought this was pretty cool. So he's making a chessboard, and he 3D prints a bunch of stuff out for it, and then he flattening it and all that good stuff. But by the time that you get down to the end of it, uh, with the resin that he pours in there, it's really a cool effect on the whole thing. So yeah, he's got like a little boneyard that goes around with skeleton bones and stuff, and man, what a cool looking project when it's all done. And he covered rocks with paint and made it look like it's all gold and stuff, and then all the um, skeleton bones and all that are just all in there. It's pretty sweet. I dig it. I think he 3D printed the 3D printed the chess pieces too at the end. Man, pretty awesome though. Yeah, there's the chess pieces that he's making. Turned out pretty cool.
So nice.
Yeah, he's got the there it is.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, it looks like it's all floating. I like how the resin joined in with the outside stuff, so it doesn't even look like it's separated at all.
Wow, that is so clean.
Yeah.
It makes me scared to try epoxy, because every time I've done it, I always get bubbles, no matter how much flame or. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it was a pain in the butt to do. Well, and he didn't even flatten it. It didn't look like with a CNC or anything. I mean, he flattened that by hand. So the amount of time he spent finishing the resin with that it's got to be many hours.
That's a beautiful piece, though.
Yeah, it turned out so good. So good.
And I like how you were saying, the black spots or the black parts of the board just have even little sprinkles in there.
Yeah.
Of dirt or rocks in them.
Almost look like gold flake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a cool project.
Yeah, that'd be right in the middle of the dining room table.
Yep. Oh, and as always, I always forget to tell everybody, all these links are down in the description. So um, if you want to check out these videos, go watch them, and then comment on there that you saw it on here, so that they know, uh, spreading awareness and all that good stuff. So, sweet. All right. Well, let's move on then. Uh, Visual Thinker. This was a cool project. So he did this project here. It was a layered, lasered, you know, geographical, what is it, typographical. Um,
Typography.
yeah, that's what it is. I'm sitting in a truck in front of my in-laws' house. But that thing is showing up at a coffee shop now, and he wanted to do something for their new studio, and so he uh, had the space underneath the those shelving units right there, and came up with a really cool design to um, put a piece in there. And man, what the graphics people do for some of their videos is outstanding. I wish I had that patience and expertise to do something like that. Yeah, but there you can see like what he's looking to do, something in that space, and he. So that first one was a piece of the Grand Canyon, which is showing you there, and so he's looking for a long piece that he can put straight on that wall. And so he found this section of the one of the tributaries and used that as his piece. And goes through the process of 3D printing it all out. He did 3D print instead of laser cutting it this time, um, and then lights it from the bottom or backside of it or whatever, and then does tries to figure out how to do the river inside because he liked how it looked. But he didn't end up using the epoxy because it was bleeding into the print too much and all that good stuff. Um, but the end result is outstanding. Really well done. He's able to light it up and make it shine.
Oh, that's cool. I see what he did here.
Yeah. So he did 3D printed on the backside of it and just kind of glued it in. And then when he lights it up, it looks really sweet. But it turned out really cool. A great piece. Absolutely great piece. Even not lit up, it's really cool looking. Yeah.
All 3D printed versus laser layered.
Yep.
Or layers. I can't even spit that out now. Layered. I can't even spit it. Nope, I'm done.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool looking? With the light though too, it really shows off the peaks and all that. All the terrain. Came out so cool. Oh, great project. Absolutely great project. Very fun.
See, I'd be laying it flat and I'm 3D printing some AT-ATs and stuff. And
Oh yeah, throwing them in there and make it look like it's Hoth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Very cool. All right, well, we'll move on then to Luke Edwin. So Luke Edwin, I hadn't seen any of his stuff before, but he's a camera guy, and he's way into camera. So he was showing some of these are mounts that he made for his tripods and all that good stuff.
Slick.
But he actually 3D prints out lenses for his camera.
The lens or the shroud?
I guess like the shroud itself or whatever it is. I don't know. It hooks right onto the camera. I'm not well versed enough in camera stuff, but he also made this thing for an iPhone. But that's an actual camera lens that he prints out, and he uses it, and he makes like ultra macro photos with it. So he shows like how well it works. It's kind of neat because it pixelates the picture so bad, so it kind of looks like all 8-bit.
Oh, cool!
Oh, wow!
Yeah. he's like, I don't think there's a market for this thing, but there's one he does of it. There you go. So really cool looking pictures were made with it, and it has to be super super close to it. There's keys and so it was really cool setup that he did with that, and he did some other lens stuff too. He did like an adapter for uh, another camera lens that wouldn't fit on his camera or something like that. You lose the autofocus or whatever, but he didn't really care about that. But yeah, so pretty interesting. I mean, people are smart. It's ridiculous how smart people are.
Oh, and the coolest thing is now we have the tools to express it too.
Yeah.
I do. I'm going back to. Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one for the iPhone.
Yeah. So that's like a shadow box. So when you're taking a picture or whatever with your phone, here's a demonstration of it.
It takes the
It's
glare out.
got light coming in from the side, and then when he shuts the little shutter and blocks that bit of light, it helps out with the photo.
That is slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the links are down below, which I'm going to be checking out at the end of the show.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So check those out. All right, well, we'll move on then. We got Hive Bees Hive. We haven't talked about Hive Bees Hive yet. This is a cool video on QR codes, 3D printing them out, and just with different uses for it, of what you can do with it. So one thing I found really interesting about this, so he runs you through how to make it and all that good stuff, and then to throw some extra wording on it or whatever. And the one thing that he says to do, or what he does, is like he'll be at a show or whatever, and when it gets calming down, throughout the weekend or whatever, he'll take that to the other vendors and say, "Hey, I can make you one of these for $20."
That's the way to
Get
do it.
all
Huh?
kinds of vendors to be buying these things from him. So you can put whatever you want on a QR code. So you can have it go to your site, you could have it go to a subscribe link, or you could have it go to
If I'm right, you can just have it say something.
Yeah, you can have it just say something at you, all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
You can rickroll someone.
Yeah.
You could.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. I'm gonna have to do that.
Good use of the 3D print, because then it's especially if you did it like out of PETG or something like that, it'll last the people a good long while.
No.
So you could take one of those and take one of the lights, and then put that in one of those light shells.
Yeah, you could do that. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But pretty cool setup. Good ideas. All right, well, we'll move on then. We got Print Farm Academy. So he also does Shop Nation, and but he started, since he's got a huge print farm at this point, making his dust boots for circular saws or chop saws or whatever. He started up this Print Farm Academy, which is a newer channel. But he's also been releasing a what is it? An academy or class thing type setup. And so this is like the first video that he put out for that series of classes for doing 3D printing as a business type thing. And he's very thorough about everything he does. So, I don't really like when everybody gets into doing something and then they're like, all right, I'm going to put together a course to do this. But, there's some people that should do that. And he's one of them, because he's
good at it.
He really knows what he's talking about with it. So, it was a good video though. He talking about what to think about when you're looking at getting into the business of 3D printing stuff. The limitations and all that stuff, and what printing is good for and what it's not, and all that. So
I love his sign, dude. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yep, and that's why I'm not in my truck.
There we go.
Probably more people would be watching if it was not in the truck. There. So, but yeah, good video. Check it out. Hey, see if that's something that you're interested in. The last one we got from last week was Joshua Bird. I can not even comprehend this thing. So he created a slicer for coplanar 3D printing. So that's, as you can see, his 3D printer is printing on all different kinds of axes. It's not just doing one flat layer upon flat layers. He did a benchy upside down and without supports. So he worked on a slicer that would, I guess what it does is it deforms the object first to make it where it wouldn't need any supports, and then it kind of reforms it back into its real objectness or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not smart enough to understand what this thing's doing with this, but it was really cool. Especially watching his machine, print this thing out and moving in all kinds of different directions. I mean, on that benchy, like how impressive that is that it has to print upside down. Like it's not just able to, you
It's
can't
on
just
stack, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so cool watching this thing go, but being able to do some prints that you just couldn't do without, being able to do it the way that he is with this slicer thing. But he shows like an archway or something like that at some point here where it deforms everything and then figures it all out. It's like, man, where do you even think about?
It's just hard to wrap your mind around that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
awesome.
Of course, the quality, it's nowhere where we're at. But think about it: in 5 to 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Where
that can go. I mean, this is the first iteration of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's what's going to be impressive is like you get to see something like this in infancy, and be like, back in my day.
Yeah. Right. He'll be talking about this like being the Ender 3s now.
Well, yeah.
Like the old A-frames.
Yeah.
Where other people just look at that and go, oh yeah, that's how 3D printing should be. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas, we're very like layers and, just work straight up. Like where the people who are going to, the next generation is going to be like, oh yeah, that's what I didn't get to watch the video. I'm blown away.
It's definitely worth checking out, even if you don't understand it like I did. But
See, now I like to put a rotary head on the end of that sucker, a spindle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you could. Yeah, you scale that thing up, you could do that probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
So is the base turning as well, or is it just okay?
Yeah. So he had the base turning and the print head was moving all in the directions. Yeah.
That's what's crazy right there.
Yeah.
Getting that over it.
With no supports.
No.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right. Well, let's move on then to this week's videos. We kept them kind of short because we were so backlogged from last week, but it's all good. The first one is this guy Robert Topley. Mr. Gatton actually sent me this video to talk about. Um, Interesting take. I don't think this guy is a 3D. Well, I don't think has a 3D printer at all. So he's kind of taking it from the point of view of I'm interested in 3D printing, but I don't have one. Is the vibe that I got from it, and I didn't look at what his other videos are because I was trying to freak out and figure out what to do about tonight's show. But he he talks about the junk that people make, and some of the stuff is people showing up at craft fairs saying, "Oh yeah, this is all handmade," and blah blah blah. I didn't really agree with a lot of his takes on it, but some of them were pretty valid. Because he's talking about how some folks will go to a show and all they're doing is printing out existing files. Like they're not making anything themselves. Or like this guy that he was showing, I guess he's on TikTok or something like that, and he makes the memes on TikTok and then sells them for like $40. But the prints are garbage, really. If you look at them, they're not very well done. He's just churning them out. Yeah, like it'll play the song that the meme is for or something. And but if you take longer to print it out, your time is money, I guess, for that guy or whatever. But yeah, he's churning out stuff like that, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Well, what was it?
I don't know what that was. It kind of looks like a missile in a blanket or something.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, there's 2 pillows and a missile, and yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Something on TikTok, I'm sure. But yeah, like I think he might change his tune somewhat when he actually gets a printer.
Yeah, and does it himself.
But yeah, well, this is the thing though too, is like if you're gonna sell stuff, like make it try to look as good as you can. Don't put garbage out there. It just makes the whole industry look bad.
Or it makes the people doing it right look better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I'm on TikTok and I see all that, and there's always these flame wars of the crafter fairs and the 3D printer people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everyone just pay attention to yourself. Do what you do. Stop getting mad at everyone else and screw it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna beg to differ on this. I saw a print that looked like junk being sold on YouTube. Oh, wait a minute. It's my print that they stole. At least they could do a better job.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, I think it's different when you get down to IP. What I'm saying is, a lot of these people are complaining like, oh, well, you didn't hand make that. You just got on your computer and hit print. You printed a piece of paper. And I'm like, it's still, even with bamboos and stuff, I mean, you still got to make sure all your settings are right. There's still coloring sometimes. Yeah. There's support. There's still a lot of art to it. And I'm not saying
it's kind of like what people think about CNCs too. You just throw a piece of wood on there and hit go.
Oh no.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that.
And so I guess I'm just tired of it, of people getting into this. I'm better because I did it this way, and I'm an artist, and I'm just like, I guess because I hung out with an artist crowd and I got into 3D printing and CNC work, and people are like, oh, that's not art, and it's like, yeah, it is. I look at computer programming as art. I look at, writing. Everything is an art in some sort of sense if you're working on something like that. So shut up, pay attention to what you do and make your stuff better. Who cares what the next person's doing? Unless they're stealing your IP, Sean. Then we can have a conversation. Yes, that is theft.
Yep. That's all good. Well, Yeah, don't steal somebody else's stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So, I don't know. It was an interesting video. It's something to consider about the way some people think about it, and you can work on educating people to understand what, or what is what's worth it and what's not. Um,
Or you can tell them to go outside and touch some grass.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm not
chill
bitter
out,
at all.
chill out.
Yeah.
No. All right, well, let's move on then to this next one, which I think was really fun. This is Johnny Builds. Evidently, he's got quite a large following, but he was making impossible chairs, 5 impossible chairs, and so he's using all of his um, machines to make all these things. So he's welding them, he's using CNCs and traditional woodworking, all kinds of stuff. There's his plasma table to make the first one.
So he's using all of his robots.
Oh yeah, all the robots got into play on this one. Even his 3D printer got in on it. So, but this one was kind of to mimic what these guys out on the street are doing. The street performers that look like they're sitting in midair. And so he built a leg device and all that to make it an invisible chair for one of them. And then another one was a tilted chair. This it's like it sits at like a 9.5 degree tilt or something like that. But it's ridiculous. It's really stable. It's not. It looks like it's going to fall over any time, but it's a pretty stable chair. He also did. Um, I forget what the last one was called, but it's like an optical illusion type thing.
Yeah, because he was going to try to do the one where it's split in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this one first. That one, he did that one because the split in the middle, he did that epoxy and he used that. He won that wood off an auction for like $400. And then the middle acrylic didn't.
It didn't harden.
Yeah, it didn't harden. So it was all bendy and stuff. So he had to basically junk it and move to this chair.
Yeah, so the bottom of this chair is supposed to look like it's more supposed to look like it's a shadow.
Yeah.
To make it look like there's no rear legs on the chair. And
That works.
Yeah, it's pretty good illusion.
Yeah.
But it was like 1/2 inch thick plate. That chair he's then working on was a one-legged chair. So that's pretty cool. It looks like all three of the legs were broken.
Man, because he tried to replicate, because these are all other chairs. When he was trying to replicate that right there, I was like, man, why did you make yours jaggy points? Because
right.
I was like waiting for that chair to break. I'm like, nope,
that would hurt.
No.
Going right into it.
Yeah, because look, you can see the back side of his platform lifting up when he was.
Just sitting in it.
Yeah, and then he tries to stand on it one foot.
Needed another layer of plywood underneath there to be sturdy.
No, that would make me nervous. If it's snapping down, he falls straight down.
Oh yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that thing flexing.
But wait,
then he wants to stand on it.
This still
like, oh man,
makes my stomach
good
nervous.
Weld. He's got some good welds on there. I would not trust my welds.
Nope. Mine either.
I did weld an exhaust pipe today, but there's nothing like this.
Yeah. But pretty cool. All the different methods that he's using to build them all was pretty cool to watch. Fun one to watch. All right. Well, moving on then, we got the Smuggler's Room. So this is a Star Wars prop making channel, and he's building out his whole basement as a
Star Wars room.
Star Wars room. And this he started out with this piece here that is a like for like a switch panel, but then he was looking at trying to make it so he could display some figures on it. So he reworked the design to be for figure placement or figure display, which it turned out really cool. And I think either he's selling the kits for them now, or the files are you can download everything.
I think it's the files.
Yeah, and you get a puck light. You put a puck light up in there, so it all lights up, and a pretty cool setup.
I think, wasn't he putting it in his hallway?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the smuggler's room. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it turned out really cool.
What is it? Him and his dad have been doing this for several years, and his dad was a prop designer.
Yeah, I mean the stuff that he uses to as like greeblies on everything is pretty wild.
Well, I like his tip when he was cutting the acrylic out of gray, and he scored it to give it the lines to kind of break it up. And he was like, so he cut it all into little pieces and glued it. And then he was like, oh, wait, all I had to do was score it, paint it before I took off the tape, then take off the tape.
And it would make it darker. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was nice.
Lines.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it.
I think that was one of the best tips. I was like, I never thought of it doing it that way.
Yeah, all the detail that's in that is pretty sweet. I think it'd be cool too to put a light in on the bottom so it'd be shining up. That'd be kind of neat. Paul, did you see how much the files were?
No, I didn't look because it was Star Wars.
Yeah. You could adapt that for Star Trek if you wanted to.
Free order.
Ooh. No.
In room step by step blueprint. Ooh. Oh, that's his whole room.
Oh. It was like $60 for it?
I think that's for everything.
Maybe for a kit of it or something.
Themed room design. That's the whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find it out.
Well, still, that's really cool.
It is.
Pretty sweet. Cool. All right. Well, and then the last one I got on here is from BV3D. And he's got a really cool. Oh no, there's more. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. Design hack for screw holes in 3D prints. Because a M3 screw isn't necessarily the same width as the next M3 screw. So his basic design hack is to do a cone into the part. That it starts out at, on like an M3, it would be 3.1 at the top, and it would be 2.9 at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so that it'll, any screw that you have is going to grab at some point and thread itself through. And I thought that was a pretty cool thought process to make it work.
I like the idea that it starts easier. And then it grabs as it goes in, so it's going to be straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that much of a diversion from one to the other that it's not going to work, or that it would get too tight or anything like that.
Man, the funny part is, I after seeing those videos, all this stuff showed up. My inserts.
There you go.
But
did you print out the insert?
Oh yeah, I didn't show that, did I?
Well, there you go.
Nice.
The insert press, nice.
So yeah, I did do the insert press.
Awesome. Can't wait to see how it works.
Likewise.
Mine is sitting right there.
Okay.
I haven't put it together because hey.
Oh, yeah, just a couple minutes. It's together. It's a simple print. It goes together quite easy. It's not as nice as Ryan's. I will be honest, but it works. It does work.
Oh, from the one that I made out of Ender 3 parts?
Yeah.
Well, it's not all metal,
Yeah.
No, but for being able to print something out and it's usable, yeah.
Yeah.
I highly recommend printing like 5 walls, but yeah.
Sweet. Very cool.
Yep.
All right.
I can't
Well,
wait for that to work.
we'll keep on rolling here. Macy Makes put out another video, and she was using AI to help her get some ideas for designing, which I think is a good use of AI stuff. Instead of using it directly as a design, she used it for inspiration. So she was looking for some kind of holders to make that look like cameras. And so she did like 3 versions of it, and they progressively got better. Um, and it was a pretty cool project that she made. The first one looked kind of plain, and then then they got better. She made a box out of the second one, and then the third one, she put it all together and got it looking really nice. There's the box one. It kind of looks more like a washing machine. Well, if even she said that in the video, so I'm not talking out of turn with it or anything. But the design process on it was good thought. But yeah, that's like one of her first ones there she did, and it'd be good for like pencil boxes or something like that, or like a pen keeper.
Or even a small flower
That's
box, to be honest.
I think you could put those on Amazon and sell them pretty easy. I would think. You see like what is it? Mountain Maker. He makes these little barbells that are they're business card holders, and gyms and stuff like that buy them all the time. How many photographers are out there that wouldn't mind having a camera, pencil case, or something like that on their desk?
On their desk. Oh yeah.
I think she could take that design and really make something pretty cool with it that would sell pretty well.
That one I agree on.
Yeah, good color use on them too. I like the colors that she used.
That's Overture, right? They're easy PLA.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that because it's hard to find a good. I've seen ones that say they're matte, but they still have a sheen to it.
Yeah.
Those seem to. The only ones that have been bamboo, and I've been looking for alternatives.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah,
what's the reason for wanting to use matte? Is it because you get a better print?
Oh, the appearance,
color.
It doesn't look as plasticky, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it also hides any imperfections better as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Because the light is gonna hit and shine on an imperfection, whereas this will just kind of, you still see them, but it's not as bad.
Sweet.
Yeah, matte looks good.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
And that fuzzy print, I bet it really looks good.
Is it handmade?
It's brain made. Does that count?
Right? Yeah. See that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on then. We got one more regular video here for this week. We'll skip this one. None of us got to watch this one.
Okay.
Avid CNC did a video on their new controller, so we'll talk about that next week after we can all get a little bit of time to watch it. But this is cutting it close. We've been showing a lot of his stuff recently, but I guess now his shop is offering the ability to sell HDPE sheets, and so it's stuff that milk jugs are made out of. That's the plastic. So you can use it outdoors. You can use it inside. Whatever. It really makes good dual color signs.
Isn't that similar to the sign that you made for the beach house?
Yes, but I use PVC for mine.
Okay.
But HDPE would have actually been a much better choice because it's more durable. The PVC, although I love cutting it, I think it's great to cut. It is very shattery. It's not very durable if you drop it. No.
A little on the brittle side.
Yeah, but the HDPE, usually you can get a color white and a color layered on them, and that's how they're selling them, which is kind of cool. But yeah, stuff's expensive though. That's the only problem with it.
One of the comments was, why does it only cost a couple cents to make a milk jug, but that stuff costs so much? Like, well, one, you have 3 colors sandwiched together. 2, think of how much material that is compared to a milk jug.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that sheet right there is like 150 milk jugs.
Not more.
No, yeah, I would even go, because think how thin a milk jug is.
Yeah.
So that's way more than, I'm sorry. The stupidity of comments sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the same reason that people pay more for walnut than they do pine. It's what you do with the materials. You want to go ahead and chop up your milk jug and throw it on the CNC, go right ahead.
Yeah.
It unfortunately won't be as nice as what that sheet is there. So it is what it is. If you get a chance to cut with HDPE or the PVC, you should definitely give it a whirl because it is a joy to cut. It cuts like butter and looks great. Use a zero flute if you can, or an upcut. Don't use a downcut.
Yeah.
You don't want to melt the plastic to the bit.
Yep. Or to itself.
But look how clean those letters came out.
Yeah.
That's just
very little cleanup.
Yeah.
Yep. So, really, you can't do any cleanup to them because if you take sandpaper to it, you're gonna mar up the whole the outer edge. So, there's not much you can do to it once you cut it. Which is
you don't even have to worry about it splintering.
Negative to it. What was that?
No, you don't even have to worry about it splintering or anything.
Yeah, no, it's a real clean material to play with.
So, but like one of the cons he says is you're not going to glue anything to it.
Yeah.
So how would you hang it?
Probably
alien tape.
Oh, what was that?
Alien tape.
Alien tape?
Yeah, have you ever used that?
Oh,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Have
to look into that one, Paul. I haven't heard of alien tape.
Have you ever seen it advertised on TV? Oh, you can get it at the store on the As Seen on TV thing and or section, and it's just a clear tape, and it's like I forget what they call it, but it's instead of being sticky, it's what do they call it? Where it's like at a molecular level.
Okay.
It's like the gecko.
Yes.
Like how a gecko sticks.
Yes. And I'll tell you, it sticks good.
Huh.
See, on this one, I can see it. Harry just said there's 4 holes in the corners. Yeah.
Yep.
Screw it to the wall, I guess.
I'd like to see how that E6000 if that would stick, because that stuff is supposed to pretty much glue everything.
It works good on Pet G. I've used it on my birdhouse to hold the magnets in place, and it worked good.
So, pretty cool. So, good material. Check it out. So, well, we got one more, and this is all for all my favorite people out there. This dude built a forklift out of a lawnmower, and it has brakes, and it lifts stuff. He actually put out another video after this one showing him like running around with it and seeing what he could lift with it and stuff like that. And he was lifting like 380 something pounds with it. He was estimating, and it was pretty cool. I guess he does like Halloween props and stuff like that, and so he uses this to move it around his yard.
That's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's a little itty bitty forklift. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, he built that whole thing. That was pretty. I mean, I wouldn't have looked at my tractor and said, "Yeah, I can make a forklift for that." Let's turn it around, drive it backwards.
And it works.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah, I love the winch.
Yeah.
This is simple pulleys and
Yeah. Painted it to look all rough and old.
what did he say? 300 pounds?
Yeah, I think the most that he had on it was like 380 or something like that.
380. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for just moving stuff around your house, yeah, that's a good bit of weight.
Dude,
Yeah.
now in your position, Ryan, I think Kenneth has it right.
Oh, golf cart forklift. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking about the forklift or the golf carts yesterday. So
And he's got it set up with rear steering like a forklift.
yeah, he basically took the tractor and just turned it around.
Yeah.
So,
That's really neat.
That
Ryan,
falloutish.
what?
you should just turn the golf cart into a mobile streaming setup.
Oh, there you go.
Much lights and cameras.
Do that.
Put solar on it, get Starlink.
Just go out running around.
Yeah.
There you go. That's definitely something we could do. So, yeah, so I thought everybody'd get a kick out of that forklift.
So you need to put
forklift.
a Vault Tech decal on the side would look good.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the videos I got for everybody this week and last week. So, pretty fun and entertaining. We'll get back out of this and back into normal. Yep. There's the.
Give them
there's
a thumbs
set
up
up.
on this one.
And if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button.
Definitely subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. So we'll go back here like that. There we go. And yeah. Anyway, it's been fun and entertaining for sure. Mr. Hammerquist, you got anything else for us tonight?
I got a short. I finally did a video.
Nice.
A short, but hey, I did a video finally.
Huh?
So I'll try to get some more videos out. It was nice kind of taking a break and not having that.
When did you put the video out? I haven't seen it yet.
Like 12 hours ago.
Oh, okay. That's why.
11 hours.
Yeah, I saw it probably about 2 hours ago myself.
Yeah, my internet's out, so I couldn't see it.
But, be nice, be kind. Who cares what other people are doing? Worry about yourself, dude.
There you go.
Boy,
Go touch some grass.
whoever pissed in Paul's Post Toasties, stop.
Yeah.
No. I'm just tired of hearing everyone else complaining about it. It's like, okay, we get it. You don't think it's that. Let us have our fun.
We went through this with the CNCs years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really the same thing.
Yeah.
Now it's nothing. It'll blow over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sean, you got anything else for us?
Next Wednesday, I'm gonna plug myself.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock. Come hang out. I'm just talking about. Actually, this weekend or this Wednesday should be a setup of a kit, and that's all I'll say about it. But yeah, come hang out, have some coffee, chill.
Nice.
Other than that, be kind. You know, give the ones you love a hug. Stay on track.
There you go. Mr. Corliss?
Hey, I just appreciate your effort in getting this show on the air tonight. I don't think you received enough credit for doing it. I think it was quite ingenious the way you did it.
Oh, I appreciate that, Paul. It was very kind of you to say. I like doing it, so I try to do everything we can to make them happen. So we've got 94. Oh, so earlier today, before the show started, I think it was Harry
Oops.
mentioned something about the doing something for the 100th show. What do you guys think? Should we do some sort of contest or something for the 100th show?
That could be fun.
I think he was suggesting like a maker coin or something like that, or I don't know. We should maybe we'll talk about that this week, and we'll because then people would have like 5 weeks to get something figured out. So we'll figure out something. We'll do something for the 100th show. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe it'll be get Ryan internet at the house again.
Who can bribe the internet company the best?
Right? Damn, ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks a lot again for coming and hanging out with us. Super appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. And we'll see you next week. And Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and got internet and power.
That's a good thing.
We're going for it. All right, everybody. Peace out, sauerkraut. Till next week. Bye.